So
Is divorce harder on women or men?
that's a great question. I think it's equally hard on both.
Shout the season, man.
But I think that the world is more sympathetic to women when they get divorced. I think when a woman gets cheated on, the man's a piece of shit. And when a woman cheats on a man, she must have been forced into the arms of this other man, or she had to explore herself, or she was being neglected in some fashion. And so if a man cheats, he's a piece of garbage. And if a man's wife cheats, he mustn't have been meeting her needs. You can't win! And she had every right in the world. So the world is very unsympathetic
to men, right?
To men when they get divorced.
But that's been throughout hers.
Yeah, that's been there was a maternal presumption, a legal presumption.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my dating and life experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video. Today's video, and it was supposed to have been last night's video, but I really need to catch up on some sleep. Anyway, we're talking about marriage. I haven't talked about marriage in a while. And reason being, it's been so much going on. But in this video that I found, this street interviewer asked this divorce attorney woman about marriage and why women tend to, I believe is 90% chance of filing for divorce with their husbands. Now look, I'm not a fan of the no-fault divorce thing, getting rid of that. Well, it's pros and cons with it being there and with them maybe abolishing it. One, you don't want a person staying married to you that doesn't want to be there. Two, I don't care what people say. I believe it's easier for a woman to leave a marriage than a man. I know the divorce attorney at first said is equally hard on both. The only way it's super hard on the woman is if she's totally dependent on that man for her survival. Meaning she doesn't work. She has no way to take care of herself. And some women, especially I guess the boomers, or maybe some Generation X, are in that position of an unhappy marriage, but she can't leave because she won't be able to pay the bills, even with child support and spousal support is not enough because she doesn't have work skills. And for the man, as I say, we take 3 losses. We lose the woman, and sometimes we may not mind if the woman is a headache, but it's a reason why is that saying of it's cheaper to keep her. Unless if you're not having intimacy with her or you guys are like the War of the Roses. It's this old movie I remember my mom was watching, and I believe I only watched it like once or twice. I know Kirk Douglas was in it, and some other actress was in there, and they was happy at first, but then they was happily unhappily married, and they was trying to kill each other in the end. I remember this scene at the very end. He still had feelings for her, even when they was both breathing their last breath. But in her last moment of life, she wrenched her hand away as both of them was passing away from something that they both did to each other. So the man loses the woman. He loses the kids because typically the woman takes the kids. And I think that's probably the most hurtful thing right there. Even if I had problems with my ex wife, unless if she was an unfit mom, strung out on drugs, and see, I didn't pick a woman like that. Even though those types of women sometimes come into my life. Either way, I didn't choose a woman like that to have kids with. So I would never try to take my daughter away from because I know that would break her. I could take it better than what she could take it, which I understand she carried her for 9 months and had to go through the labor stuff. So I get that point. But either way, that does hurt men unless if they definitely did not want kids at all. That definitely hurts the guy. So the woman, so the man will lose that, and then also he loses money. I understand the child support thing because you had a kid with the woman, so you have to take care of your responsibilities, removing your feelings of how you feel about your ex-wife out of it. Now the thing is, the amount of money that she deserves. Now I'm on a lower tier level, so I don't mind paying what I'm paying. But if I had $2 million and she and I divorced, and she's taking half of the 2 million, and I have to pay child support, and the child support may be some crazy amount of $50,000 a year or something, and I might have to pay spousal support as well. I'm like, what the So man loses that as well, unless if the woman has more money. And unless if you're Halle Berry or Mary J. Blige, uh, most women are not paying spousal support or child support. They just are not. So that's three things. And those are three things that the woman wins. So because of that, I believe it's easier for the woman to leave the marriage than it is for the man. At the same time, I don't think two people that can't stand each other no more, that's really miserable with each other, should stay together as well. For men, I would probably say maybe just better not to get into that situation at all. If you've never been married before and you think you found the love of your life, go ahead and try. Yet, if it blows up in your face, be very leery about doing that again, especially not a year or two later. How some people, some dudes be doing it. They'll get divorced and then get married again. Some dudes are on their fifth wife. Anyway, I'm going to start this video now. I'm probably not going to talk too much in this one. I'm just going to insert clips because I did most of my talking in the beginning. I'm not against marriage, but I'm against marriage if it's going to end in divorce because you don't know the person, or the woman just want to reach those milestones. I'm not saying if a man's cheating on a woman or beating a woman that she should just stay. But what if the woman's beating on the man or she's cheating on the man? If he leaves, unless if she's a danger to the kids, she still gets those 3 wins right there. She still gets those wins. Most of the time, when she loses the man, she don't care because she don't like him anyway. But she still gets the financial support, even though he's not there. She still gets that. Okay, so I guess if I was a woman, I would like that deal as well. For the man, better think long and hard. Let's begin.
What's your age?
32.
And what do you do for work?
I'm a divorce lawyer.
As a divorce lawyer, would you say that divorces are initiated most by men or by women?
Women, 90% of the time.
Why is that the case?
I think that they yap with their friends, and I think they get real frustrated where guys are like, I'll get to it tomorrow. And I think the women just get in their heads and they're like, all right, I'm done.
So it's the women who are sabotaging their own relationships?
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it is that they're getting with their girlfriends, they're angry, they just get frustrated, and they have a lot of people in their ears. And I think they just want to, when they're done, they're done.
But surely, as a woman, you shouldn't tolerate any and everything in a relationship.
Definitely not at all, but I feel like things build up really easily with people, and they're talking about it more, where you're like pissed off and you get kind of over it quickly.
But how long have you been a divorce attorney?
Probably like since 2016 I've been practicing, and then 2017 officially barred.
So being that you've been in the field for 8+ years, do you think that marriage is outdated now?
Outdated, but it's a more acceptable to get divorced, right? Because like we're seeing it a lot more. It's not taboo, so it's changed.
Do you think that sexless marriages can work?
No, and 100% every single time. I mostly work for men, so every single time they're in a consult with me, I'm always hearing, I haven't had sex in 10 years, I haven't had sex in 5 years, I haven't had sex in 15 years.
Serious? I had a chili dog for lunch, okay? I'm a little bloated. I did like 18 loads of laundry today. No exaggeration. Pretty sure it was 18. I'm tired. I haven't showered in 3 days and I smell like a bag of onions. Is any of this turning you off? Nothing? No, I don't want to cuddle. I know what cuddling means. Cuddling means that at some point your pants come off and I have to do things. I want to cuddle. I want to go to sleep. Are you serious? It's a school night. Those are my pants, not your pants. Can I help you? Did you lose something? Seriously? I'm on my period. You pouting? Are you seriously pouting right now?
And I'm like, here we go again, the sex talk every single time. So it's like you need to make sure you're doing it like 3 to 5. I would say like 3, 2. Sometimes you want to go like 2 times, 2 to 3, but it really should be like 4. 2 to 4 times is ideal.
So a lack of sex in these marriages is the most common theme that you're seeing when they end.
Yeah, because it's connected to more of that. It's not just physical. It's like, all right, well, if you're not into someone and you're disgusted by them and you're pissed off at them, you're not going to be having sex with them, right? Because you're going to be unattracted to them, you're going to be irritated, and you're not going to be into them. So you're not going to be banging them.
So why do you think people stay in these relationships for so long?
I think they stay in it just because it's comfortable and it's easy and it's really hard. This is marriage is a breakup on steroids. Like if you're gonna get a divorce, it's not just like I'm moving my shit out, bye-bye. It's like if there's kids involved, forget about it. It's like your whole life is upended. It's a major decision. Your family's affected, your life is affected. Half your crap is gone. So it's a little bit tougher than with just a simple breakup.
When a couple goes through a divorce, what's the process typically entail?
Someone has to file, first and foremost, someone's got to file. So you got to fill out the paperwork, file it with the court, and then you've got to serve someone, or they have to sign something saying they've gotten it. So either you have a random stranger who's hired by a service, or you have someone that you know go and hand them the paperwork, which is always awkward. Or you can tell them, hey, I'm going to divorce you and you're going to sign this document saying you've received this, which is always awkward.
So wait, they don't send a sheriff out to serve them, or?
You can't, like, some people will do that where you can get a constable, but it's not a sheriff. If there's a restraining order, you get a sheriff to do it.
Okay.
That's a whole nother.
So they sign that, then what happens?
Then they have in California, they've got 30 days to file a response. In Massachusetts, where I'm also barred, like, they can just respond. So someone has to respond to it and say, all right, yeah, I want a divorce too, and this is what I want to do. And it's a simple paperwork.
So party A agrees for the divorce, and so does party B. Does that mean that they're officially divorced and that's fun, or?
No, I wish. It'd make things a lot easier, but no, you got to go through this whole rigmarole. All right, well, what do you have? Show me your paperwork for the past. Show me your bank accounts. Show me your credit card statements. Show me everything. I want to see what your financial assets are. So you got to break it down each person, which causes problems, right? Because someone's on OnlyFans, you're seeing it in their bank account. Because unlike, Ashley Madison, they used to hide it as American Bank. OnlyFans just says straight up OnlyFans. They have no shame with their billing. So you start seeing these kind of charges and you go, all right, well, we need to do more. I got to look into this. What else have you done? Have you gone to hotels? I want to see more bank statements. Take me back 5 years.
And so this can expose more infidelity in a relationship.
Yeah, and problems. So it's like, all right, now you're doing a deep dive and now you're starting to snoop through stuff and you've got some problems.
Okay. But after that process is done with the financial assets and looking at that, is it just the man had... So after that part's done, is it the man has made 100K and the girl makes 50K, so the girl gets 25 from the man, or what?
No. Then you're going to be looking at a whole complicated state-by-state calculation of, all right, how long were you married? Who paid what? Who's doing what? Who can earn what? Like, so now you're looking at all the potential of that, and you're going to get a crazy calculation. And if you're married for a decent amount of time, you're going to get some spousal support. If you're, like, say the guy's paying all the bills, woman's at home, the guy's going to pay up. He's going to be paying a good amount, and it's going to be for, in California, if it's less than 10 years, he'll be paying half the length of the marriage. Massachusetts, you go, it goes to 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20. It doesn't go, it's more regulated, but just depends.
Being a divorce lawyer for 8 years, are you for prenups or are you against them?
Prenups are amazing. I'm a big fan of prenups. When some of my friends get married, instead of giving them a blender, I give them a prenup because it's a lot more useful, and I just do it for free and set it up, and I know the relationships, you know what to put in there, and it's great. So prenups, and you have a roadmap basically of what you're going to do. You can save like 50K on average if you have a prenup, like easily, because you already say you divide this, do that, and you can put future stuff in there. So vacation home, okay, I have no vacation home right now, but you put in the prenup and you can divide your vacation home, or say you have a business, divide your business a certain way, you do certain things.
Well, she's the first attorney that explained prenups properly. I see how it can somewhat guard you. It's not foolproof though, from what I've heard. For example, like in Dr. Dre's divorce, he says she signed a prenup and she challenged it, and he still had to pay up. So now, of course, I don't know what was in the prenup. I think you can put certain things in there that can guard you, or I'll say this: having the prenup is better than not having one. Okay, that I will say is true. Yet, they can always challenge it, especially if she's being really vindictive. She can say that she signed it under the duress, such as, oh, he said that he wouldn't marry me unless if I sign this, or he made me sign this on the wedding day. I don't know if you need a bunch of witnesses at the time to maybe make that not a point. Yet I heard that, and I'm not sure if it takes a certain amount of money to challenge it. I do think the more money that you have, she can then, I'm not exactly sure what amount of money you should have to have a prenup. And this woman says she was doing it for her friends for free. So this shows me that a prenup can work to a certain extent. And she did say it can save you $50,000. So it can save you some money. It just won't save you from everything. And it definitely won't save you from child support. It may can help you on spousal support to a degree.
But if prenups are so simple, why are so many women against it?
Because they want as much as they can get, obviously. I mean, you're not going to go to someone and say, hey, you want half can I give you half the amount you're supposed to get? Who would take that deal? Not many people. So it's not a very appealing thing. It's like going to someone who's ordering a sandwich and said, let me give you half the sandwich. Who's going to eat that sandwich? You want the full sandwich.
And what's the biggest misconception you've noticed when it comes on to divorces?
I don't think they're as taboo as they need to be. Like, everyone's like, oh, it's so bad and it's like ruins your whole life. It doesn't. I think like there's a lot of times where people find their second loves.
90% of people have had a first marriage by age 50.
Well, you will have been married.
Yeah.
At some point.
If you are listening to this right now, 9 out of 10 of you will be married by like age 50. The divorce rate currently for, I guess, first marriage is what, 50%?
It's a little higher than that. 86% get remarried within 5 years of their divorce.
Okay, so it's like...
So it's not only do 86% of people who've now been through the horror of a divorce, even the friendliest one is a terrible disruption.
But now we're doing it all over again.
They're going to do it again. Let's do it. We're in.
Is it true that divorce rates for a second marriage are higher than 66%?
Yep.
And then third marriage, 75%.
Yeah, it's even higher.
What is happening? You would think you feel like you're getting better at it. Like you're like, okay, I failed once.
No, it teaches statistically it shows the opposite, which is that you're not good at it and the chances of you getting better at it go down. So I have a client who's on his 5th divorce right now, and I've done his last 3 prenups.
And that seems to be really amazing, and they seem so much more happier and balanced. So it shouldn't be as taboo, and that's a misconception.
Have you ever had to represent a client over multiple marriages?
Yeah, and every single time I'm like, don't do it, man, don't do it. Can you get a prenup? Can you do something? And I have like multiple clients that are like, all right, here we go again. I just tell them don't do it, and they just do it. And I'm like, all right, see you soon.
Are you single?
No, I'm married.
How long have you been married?
About 5 years.
So how does your job make you view your relationship with him?
Just like more, you're looking out a little bit more. You're like, all right, I need to maybe work on things a little bit more. You see stuff that's alarming. And when you're dating as a divorce lawyer, it gets a little crazy, right? Because you're like, all right, let me see how he is angry. Let me see how he is when he's sad. Let me make sure I go through a major event before I commit. Let me see how it is living with this person. So you have to be more aware.
So would you say that mentally it still puts a strain on your relationship, or it's just as easy as like working at a 9 to 5?
Wouldn't say with the strain. I think it makes it stronger because you know what not to do. Basically, you're like, all right, if I do this, this might be a problem, because you see so many guys complain about like, my wife didn't do this, my wife didn't do that, and that bothered me. So I make sure not to do those things.
Okay, the end of that video gave me some hope. And of course, so she's just talking. Yeah, she's been married for 5 years. She's seen what's going on around her. And she's trying to adjust that if the marriage does end, it's not going to be her fault that it ends, because she's going to put in the effort for the things that she's hearing the men say that the wives are not doing. Okay, so this is the thing where a lot of women will think that they are perfect and they're not doing anything wrong. And in my marriage, we can both say things that we failed at or we was not doing, or shady stuff that we have done. Now, of course, though, she would deny certain things, and some people would sweep things that she did under the rug. Even I would in the past, because I know when our marriage ended, I put it all on me, like, because that's what usually men do with taking responsibility, accountability of their part in it. And while I put the final nail in the coffin, with what I did that accidentally get her into some legal trouble, which I definitely admitted to. So she didn't get in trouble like she would have if I denied everything. But I knew I was wrong. Yet, with the things that she did, I don't think, well, maybe with how she's acted now, maybe she admit that she could have been better. Maybe that's why she's being nice now. Or maybe she doesn't want me to spill all the tea. Yet, I can look at her and say it was a lot of things that I was not happy with, that I just put up with. And now my strategy with getting into relationships is for me to be able to get in, and when things are not to my liking, to be able to leave with no strings attached. Now, it has to be some type of string. So the one string I kind of don't mind is if the woman moves in, if she and I seem to get along, we're having fun together, things seem to be going well. I'm not sure about marriage ever again, especially because the second one definitely doesn't seem to go well. I'm pretty sure there are some because it's 66%, not 100%. So obviously, some people do stay married till death to they part. Yeah, a lot of people do not. So that's another video right there. If there's a woman that does convince me to get married again, she's nothing like any of the women that I've ever met, if that's the case. And that's why I'm thinking going overseas, because I see a lot that do things that I would see that is a problem. And I'm pretty sure they don't see it as a problem. And hey, live your life. But the thing is, I'm not going to get myself in a position again whereas I thought she would change or get better, and yet she got worse. Okay, and I'm pretty sure it's because the thing of thinking that she can do no wrong. I believe a lot of women walk around with that particular thing. Society gasses their head up, men gas their head up, other women gas their head up, and I'm not sure if I'm taking that chance again. I'm not going to say it's a 100% chance because I'm sure there's a woman out there that may change my mind. And then, of course, kids. And that's a real big one. I think I'm done with having kids, but I'm pretty sure if I get a woman that's a bit younger than me, 5, 10 years younger than me, or a little bit more, she's going to probably want a kid. But I'm going to think, would I marry her? Would I trust her to pretty much be the same person that she's acting right now, flaws and all, and for her not to degrade and get worse? Is she always going out with a girlfriend? Is she telling other people our business, especially other men? Are other people influencing her in the relationship? That's not going to get better. I did that roller coaster before. I have no desire to do that one again. And not to say that I was perfect, because of course I had things that I had to work on, but at least I was conscious that I need to work on things. But when you're with somebody that's getting away with highway robbery, or they're doing things that are disrespectful, it makes you not want to be the best person that you can be, because why is I'm going to be better while they are continuing to be worse? So hey, are you guys still getting married out there? You can put your comments down below. Not saying to don't do it, but let that be the first one, maybe the only one, and let that be a woman you truly love, or a man that you truly love or you have feelings for. Because the only way I would do that again is I have to know without a shadow of doubt that that woman desires me. And of course, I have to watch those age groups that they're just trying to get milestones most of the time. Not all the time, but a lot of times it's the milestones. Around that late 20s, the third to 40, sometimes it's just the milestones. It's not really about the man, it's about the marriage, and it's about her and having kids. If she's on that type of time and energy, I'm out. So, give me a like and subscribe. Thanks for being here. Good luck.
Previously on Star Trek, Kirk, Bones, and a lady they met at the club were getting high on space crack. Kirk was so high he was frozen, getting a face massage. Bones was just watching, all sweaty, holding a gun. That's when Spock walked in, pissed. Spock goes for the gun, gives up, pulls the chick off Kirk, then starts whooping her ass. Like Spock Turner in What Space Got to Do with It. She took his blows like Thanos, hit Spock with a backhand, he went flying, and slid down like he had too much Chardonnay. But Spock wasn't just mad because of the drugs. He knew the chick from the club who wasn't bad looking, was actually really bad looking, and her name wasn't Jennifer, it was Ugh. And there's no way to spell Ugh. She was a space monster, and she was sucking the life force out of Kirk in a much different way than he's used to getting his life force sucked out. Bones finally realized what was happening. Kirk was in danger. He snapped out of his drug trance and blasted that monster. Ugh.
$dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way I feel, boss. Some money, dropping on my money, drop some money on a sister, yummy, yeah. Drinking, right, things I like. Buy, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money. $dollar bills.